Hi folks, my perspective here. In this video clip, I want to talk about light and how an artist and a photographer will work with light and what we learn from this. Now, if you go outside and it's an overcast day, what do you notice? The sun is blocked out by the clouds, but yet you can see clearly. How come? Now, if you're in a lounge setting, right, and you have a lamp, if you put the lamp on, that lamp cannot illuminate everything in that room. And it's not because of the lampshade. And if you move that lamp around, right, if you're on this side, say of this Vespa, if you're on this side, it'll still be dark. So what you need to do is you need to bring in a ceiling. You need to put lights in that ceiling. Now those ceiling lights will create an ambient light, will light up that room properly. Now you can move your lamp around and put it in a position where you need the light, where you need supported light. Now, in the world, if we just had the sunlight, it would be the same as the moon. The sunlight cannot illuminate the sky. The sun is supposed to be 150 million kilometers away. This is what you would see. Everything this side would be black, darkness. The same as that lounge setting. The same principle applies. In this lounge, if you only had one light source, and it was the lamp, and if the lamp is the sun, And if the sun moves, you still need another light source. You need another source of light. This is how we see. The use of light in this room tells us that the setup in the world, the real world, is the same. The principles apply to both. If you're outside and the sun's in front of you, you're surrounded by light. So the light of day is you living in light. You see, one light source, if the sun was our only light source, it cannot illuminate everything equally. This side of the Vespa will be in total darkness. So something's wrong. If you look at an image, you can see, well, this doesn't add up to reality. Let's use a photographer, for example. If he just brings in a spotlight to light this Vespa, on this side, the Vespa will be in total darkness. You make the light brighter, it just becomes more intense. Harder shadows, more contrasty, that's all. So you need to bring in a soft light. This soft light will add ambient light, right? And then you need to bring in a reflector. That reflector now, you have 3D lighting. You have lighting that can illuminate a 3D object in 3D space. Now you can move your lamp to where you want it to be, your hard light. The principles that are applied in this, the sun would be the spotlight. Creates a hot spot, creates the shadows. The softbox, that would be the light of day. It's a different kind of light. And the reflector, there must be some sort of dome covering over the earth for you to see this. If you're riding in a forest, for example, right, and it's overcast, you can still see clearly. You can walk through those trees because you are surrounded by light. One light source cannot do this. These people are surrounded by light, and there's a hard light that causes the shadows. For example, where's the light? Where's the sun in this image? It's on the opposite side, right? Yet the opposite side of the Vespas are not in total darkness. It means they're getting illuminated from a light source on the other side. Look, one light source. If we are spinning, right, on this ball earth, one side would always be totally dark. You cannot avoid this. You cannot escape this. First, the one side of the bike would be illuminated, the right-hand side. Then only the top would be illuminated, and then the side. Also your shadows. If you were in the northern hemisphere or in the southern hemisphere, your shadows can only ever face north. If you're in the north, and if you're in the south, your shadows can only ever face south. The angle of your shadows would never change because the light source is fixed and you're spinning on a ball. And this is not what we experience. Our experience in the world is not this. Now, if you were at the equator or even near the equator, right, your shadow now, remember the earth is supposed to be orbiting around the sun. Since the earth is fixed at the same angle, your shadows will swap sides. Every 6 months, your shadow will be on the one side. 6 months later, your shadow will be on the other side. This is unavoidable. You cannot escape this. So the ball earth with the sun illuminating the earth as the only light source, this is a fabrication. It's not real. This is impossible. Light does not work like this. The principles that how we use light on earth, they don't change. Our understanding of light and how we use light. One light source cannot light a 3D object. One light source cannot do this. as we see in this image. You walk in this forest. In a day you are surrounded by light. I find it interesting in the Bible that it says on day one, God said, let there be light. And there was light. And he separated the light and the darkness. In other words, he created light and darkness. And that's the ambient light. In other words, that ambient light fills everything. So we are told, though, that the light and the darkness is caused by the rotation of the earth. Then, on day 2, the Creator separated the waters above and the waters below. In the book of Job, it says that he caused the heavens. He beat out the heavens like a molten mirror. The same mirror that we use as a reflector in photography and in filming. So we have the ambient light of day. This is light. You are living in the light. And then the reflector. And then he created the vegetation and the land appeared. So it's interesting to notice that the vegetation would have survived in this ambient light. And then it says the third day. So obviously this light source must have been rotating, must be turning, because it says a day, a second day, a third day. And then on the fourth day he creates the sun. And it's the sun that gives us the hard light and gives us the heat. And then on the fifth day we created the birds and the fishes. Now if we look in this video footage, we often see images like this, and this is because the sun is reflecting off the dome. There is a dome like a molten mirror that covers the earth, and this keeps our atmosphere in, keeps the heat in, and here's visible proof of it. The world that we are taught and the world that we see with our eyes do not match up. Our eyes show us one thing and we are taught something totally different. Now I find it interesting, there's a scripture in Isaiah 29, and I'm going to stop the video here and now listen to this. Isaiah 29 and verse 13. And it says, Jehovah says, this people approaches me with their mouth, and they honor me with their lips, but their heart is far removed from me. And their fear of me, or the respect of me, is based on commands of men, that they have been taught. Simply put, that we cannot honor the Creator with lies. We must honor the Creator in spirit and in truth. As simple as that. In Isaiah 29 verse 9, it says, be stunned and amazed. Blind yourselves and be blinded. They are drunk, but not with wine, and they are staggering, but not from alcohol. So in the system, people are staggering and they are blinded and they are drunk because they're living on this spinning ball. They're staggering and they're drunk from false teachings. And if we can see something is wrong, then what do? Do we simply go along with the flow? Do we just go along with a system that we can see is corrupt and is lying to us? We have to stand up and say, this is not right. It takes courage, and people are going to look at you funny, and they're going to call you names, but so be it. What we can do, though, is keep calm, keep our peace, be respectful to others. And to the shills and to the rulers of the system, Isaiah, in the same verse, and to the shills, Isaiah says at Isaiah 29, verse 20, and the tyrant will be no more, and the boaster will come to his finish, and those keeping alert to do harm will be destroyed. And yeah, this is specifically for the shills. And those who with a false word make others guilty, who lay traps for the defender in the city gate, and who with empty arguments deny justice to the righteous one. And the shills will come, and they'll argue with empty arguments, so that people will not see the truth. But the tyrant who is ruling the system, their destruction is imminent. They're going to come to the end very soon. Just as Isaiah says. This system is coming to an end. It's finished. Why should the Creator be dishonored with lies and deceit? And we have NASA who have images like this. There's no perspective in here. In other words, if you're driving your bike down the road will move faster than the mountains and the clouds in the background. This is fake. When you're driving your bike down the road, your Vespa or your car down the road, what's in front of you moves faster than what's on the side. Yet everything moves at the same speed, because this is fake. This is not real. It's CGI. That's all it is. Not real. So you need to use your eyes, use your mind. Now, we're going to look at, if you were on a bike, for example, right, the International Space Station, that footage you saw, they apparently are supposed to spin around the Earth 16 times while the Earth does one rotation. And the angle of their path angle isn't lined up with the Earth. What does that mean? What would happen? So this Vespa is pointed towards the horizon. Well, first of all, the light source would be spinning, rotating with you. So if you're inside the International Space Station, the light would rotate around you. In a time lapse, you would see the light rotating around you from your perspective. In your video footage, this is what you should see, and we don't see it. Another issue, as soon as your angle is arced, that means the Earth should wobble. Because your axis, your path, is not lined up with the axis of the Earth's spin. It's the angle across that axis. Therefore, from your video footage, it looked like the Earth is wobbling. It has to. So these basic principles, we see that we're being lied to. So I don't mind believing in science. The point is, I don't have an issue with science. But the point is, if it's speaking the truth, then it's fine. So science claims to be under the umbrella of truth and fact. But yet we see that what we are being taught and what we're being told is a perversion of what is true. So I'm not prepared to sign on a contract or a belief system, and I can see that the contract is corrupted, because the price that you pay is too high to put your trust in these men that you can see have been lying. The basic light and shadows tell you that they are lying. Finally, in Isaiah 29, verse 15, and in verse 16, it talks about, and I'll actually read it to you. Woe to those who go to great lengths to conceal their plans from Jehovah. Their deeds are done in a dark place, while they say, who sees us? Who knows about us? This is the organization that rules the system in the dark places. It continues. How you twist things. Should the potter be regarded the same as the clay? Should what is made say about its maker, he did not make me? And does what is formed say about its former, he shows no understanding? They're trying to say that we are not created, we evolved, and that the Creator shows no understanding. Really? Who should I believe? The Creator or these science gurus who show lack of understanding? So if you want to sign on the dotted line, you go ahead and sign. It's none of my business. But I refuse to sign. I will not put my name on this document because the price is too high. I know this document is fraudulent. So some people will come and say, well, you know, I respect the Bible, but let me just twist the Bible to try and match up with what science says. And if I stand at this angle and I turn the Bible and I twist it like this, there you see now science and the Bible match up. Now I can have faith in the Bible and I can say I respect the Creator. It doesn't show respect for the Creator. It shows the opposite. So should we be fearful of men who are liars and deceivers? Why are we afraid of these people? Why are we afraid of them? These men are nothing. Soon they'll be gone and you'll never see them again. So my encouragement to you is use your eyes, use your mind and think. Look, and you will see a different world to the one that you're taught to believe in. You'll see a completely different world. So I hope this gives you something to think about. Cheers and thanks for watching.